and I'm doing everything I can to get a prospect. And then I need to show that veteran a home. And they're saying, "God, not only do I have to buy, but my cousin, my sister, my whatever has to buy." And you're all, "Well, when can you go look at this home?" It sounds funny, right? It happens all the time. All the time. They're begging you for the sale. Hey, I had a guy we worked with, older guy, gentleman, he worked in my office right next to me. He was going through some hard time. I didn't know what he was going through, but at the time. And the guy, he couldn't hear. He had the guy on speaker. "Hey, Tom, what's going on? How you doing?" "Great, great." "I'm calling you, Art." "Yeah, how's it going?" "Great." He goes, "But I'm really thinking about it. I don't like where I'm at. I need to move." "Well, how's your family?" They're good. They're good. But I'm really thinking it's time for a change." "And your daughter?" I swear it was like that. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I couldn't help. He's yelling like that. At the end of it, I came up to him. I said, "Tom, can I?" And he's my friend. I came up and I said, "Can I talk to you?" He goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Let's take a drive." I got in my car. True story. I swear to God, his close friend of mine still to this day. Drive around. He goes, I said, "Tom, you okay?" He goes, "No. My wife's has cancer." I said, "Look, I couldn't help. I apologize if I'm overstepping my boundaries or whatever." I said, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. And I said, "You do know that guy that you were on the phone was begging you to sell his home." He's all, "What? What are you talking about?" I go, "Tom, you're not listening. That guy was telling you, he told you 5 times. You need to go call that guy." Sure enough, he calls him, gets a listing. And he calls me up again. Yeah. And that day was very bonding for us as two men, like just trying to help each other out. We're still he moved away. His wife, thank God, was okay with, she overcame cancer. But the point of the whole story is active listening. Are we listening to their buyer's needs, or are we just listening, or are we just telling? Are we telling about ourselves? Are we listening to what they want? Are you asking the questions that are and then listening to what they say? Or are you just asking the questions? Why are we asking these questions? When we would teach listening, Brendan and I would teach listening presentations, the people we would go through the listening presentation and ask the questions. And one day we noticed they don't even know why they're asking the questions. What was the point of asking the question? So you're not listening. Number two, so here are some examples, not necessarily what I would say, or it's just an example. I want to make sure I understand exactly what's important in what's important to you in selling this home. Or I want to know, please share with me what your dream home looks like if you're with a buyer. And then listen. They're going to tell you. Those type of questions are meant to actively listen. Okay. Transparency. You need to be transparent. I'm always upfront with you so you can clearly always make the right decision. It may, regardless of what it's going to be, I'm going to tell you whether it's good or bad. I'm going to let you know. That's the way I work. Sometimes I'm going to tell you not to buy the home, and it may not be in your best interest. But that people want to hear that. They don't want to always just be sold. If they want to know you got their back, on that. Finding common ground. So when they're sharing things, find some commonality in what they're telling you. I grew up in Orange County. That always triggers April,
Yes.
right? And then what do?
What? I lived in Huntington. Where'd you live?
Yeah, that's building rapport. That kind of isn't a perfect example. I see it. And what does she do?
She lights up.
She lights up. Because she believes in what she's selling. She loved it there. That's why it's sellable. That's why the rapport is building. That's why when she greets someone, oh my God, come in, and they're just like, and what it, I know I'm gonna embarrass you, I always put you on the spot. She just shared at the last of, it's not just her, it's all of you have this, these moments. But I
Ken, are
wanna
you
give
saying
that-
if I do that, that I'll start attracting clients? If I say it that way?
Sure, guys will love that. What did that lady, the last open house you just did, the one client that you built, just got, that you have to show property to, what did she say about it?
That I was sweet like honey.
Sweet like
What
honey.
happened?
Sweet.
And she said you had an aura
Over about myself, yeah.
about yourself.
Yeah.
What's that buyer, how much is that buyer buying?
900.
900. Just 900.
Shoot, I can get it.
Okay, what's the commission on that? You don't even know. That's good that you don't know, because you don't care. They only care about buying them, selling them a home. That's the point. Is that she sincerely cares about trying to get them a home. I'm glad you don't even know what the commission is, because if you only think about the commission, you're not really thinking about them. But it's a lot of money.
Mhm.
All right. And then provide value first. Before looking at this, let me share some insights on you. Let me tell you about the area. Before we move forward, let me give you some market trends, whatever it is, give some value. Number 3 step in every sale, besides that was 5, building rapport. Now we're going to the third one, is asking questions and identifying needs and pain points.
Asking questions.
And identifying their pain points. These are 7 steps in every sale that have to happen.
And creating value too.
Yep.
It's asking intelligent questions, listening. You create value when you ask the right questions and you listen. So those two are they can be tied together. Because a lot of times you might walk into an area and not know a lot about the area. But if I'm focused on the buyer, Ken's the buyer, and I'm like, Ken, so what's important to you in the home that you find? Like, what are you looking for? And we're asking, that's creating value. I ask him the right questions and he answers and I listen, that value continues to create. It's one of the most important things to do up front.
You want to kill your client sale, your relationship? Number 1, this happens all the time. Again, what's important to you in as far as as far as your home purchase? I want to make sure not by a busy street, and I don't want to be by power lines. What do you think for people that sell their homes, when the agent does, when there's power lines in the picture?
Crops them out.
Gets rid of them. So what do you think if you have a client that told you that, and then you just send 5 properties, and then they drive by it, they take the time to drive by it, and all they see is power lines? Were you listening to them? You're not listening to what I'm telling you. That is happened multiple times. I know I'm stating that example because it's happened and they lost their client. So, active listening doesn't just mean listen, it means listen. You see that you know the difference. It's like, I'm telling you, I don't want to be that. I don't want to drive to Palmdale. Right? And then you send them all Palmdale homes. Now, that being said, there's a way of making them understand. Maybe sometimes you got to dig a little deeper. Maybe you can show them what they can get in Palmdale versus over here. Maybe if they saw that this is what they get from driving here, that maybe then they have a different opinion on that choice. But that goes in you showing them that actually happened, because we accidentally stuck some that were in Port Sale, not in Palmdale, which is right next to Palmdale. And they go, I want to go see the 2 in Port Sale. It's right down it's just almost the same drive. But sometimes people will tell you something, you're understanding something, and this is why we have to ask questions, because what you're understanding is different than what they're saying. Human language has totally different definitions on so many things. we'll go into negotiations class one day. But I remember a common one is, are you okay with a fixer upper? Oh, yeah, totally okay. Walked in the house and they said, there is no window screens in this house. Can you believe it? And I'm like, window screens? That's a fixer for you? I swear that happened to me. Swear to you. What's a fixer?
Right.
You have to ask them.
You have to ask,
What are you okay with?
what are you okay with? Right? So the one thing that you'll get as you get progressively better at this job is that when they give you an answer, you know, like, why would you say that? Or what does that mean to you? Be inquisitive. Be inquisitive. Like, so
Why do you want to
I
be
only
here?
want, how much what are you comfortable with on a monthly investment? I can't go past 500,000. We just talked about this earlier. Okay, well, you don't want to be disrespectful, but you go, how did you come up with that amount? Well, that's all I can afford. Based on, is it a monthly payment thing? What's the most you want to pay per month? Or how much can you afford on a payment? Well, it's $3,000. So 3,000 equals 500,000. That's what they think. You go, okay. Well, can I ask you, do you have any debt besides that? Yeah, I've got this car payment, $600 a month. How much do you owe on that? 10 grand. Okay. So how much can you really afford? 3,000, but this is 3,600. So what if I could get you this home at a payment that you're comfortable with? Would you move forward with it? Absolutely. That house is beautiful. Okay. So what if I paid off your car? You can do that. And at first, believe it or not, they don't equate that debt. That debt's no big deal because I'm used to paying it. So even though you say they'll get rid of that debt, they'll still be, no, I still can't afford it. Well, you said you can make this payment. I'm gonna fine you the 600. You literally have to make them realize that it's okay. Because they're so trained and focused that that number is taboo. I can never do that. I want to be a millionaire. Remember when you were a kid? I want to be a millionaire. Crap now. You can't survive with that. It's not enough.
I think I could be okay on that.
Would you stop working and retire?
No,
with $1
would
million?
stop working.
You can't. All right. So questions identifying their P. So we said, okay. We went through that. Step 4. Present and showcase. So this is where now you got the client, right? We did that. You prospect. You got the client. You built rapport and trust, which is what all you're doing. But you're missing, you're asking questions. You know what they want to buy. You got all that down. You're missing this step, which is present and showcase. You're not setting the appointments. You're not taking them out. You don't have anything to sell. You've got all that, but you're just sending some stuff.
Or waiting for them to find the perfect home.
You're waiting for them to call you. Believe me, if you set an appointment, even if it's not exactly, you're going to build a way better bond with those people. They're going to see how hard you're working, and then they're going to find something that they like. Trust me. You set the appointment, show homes. Set the appointment, show homes.
And Ken, how do you do it? I know some have heard it, but what do you say? Initial call, how do you take the pressure off? And this part of it is learning how to take the pressure off to get them to do something, right? Because people don't want to feel like, well, I don't want to be forced to buy something. I'm not ready for it. I don't know what my payment is. I don't know any of these things. So how do you take the pressure off when you call them?
My go-to script when I meet someone at an open house or anywhere is like, I go, look, when's the best time? When are you available? weekends or the weekdays? They'll go, "Oh, you know, weekends." You go, okay, well, let's do this. Let's set up a time. Let's go look at 4 or 5 properties. This way you can say, Ken, I like this, I don't like that. And this way I'll have a better idea of what it is that you're looking for. How does that sound? Great. But they're not telling them to go buy something. We're just gonna go look.
Sound familiar, Sean? Did you hear that
I did hear that.
at the presentation?
Yep.
That always works. Always works. They wanna go look, and then you say, look. You can add to that and say, what I'll do is I'll line up 5 homes. I have to make all the appointments, but that way allow yourself like a good hour and a half. That way we'll just go from one to another with no problem. But I have to set them all up because everything's appointment only. Now why am I doing that? Why do you think I'm doing that?
Because you're letting them know that you're putting time and effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're not guilting them into coming.
You are.
but It's kind of more like
You are guilting them.
you are.
You're doing both. You're showing your level of professionalism. You're saving time for them, but you're taking the time, you're creating value, you're showing value, you're showing you're a professional, and you're letting them know, like, look, I'm going to do all this for you, right? So let's show up.
Not
Right.
only that, it's gonna make them realize that they can't do it without you. Because they didn't know that those are all appointment onlys. They're only bouncing from open houses or whatever.
Right.
But if you got something in a way that they don't have, in a way that's fast, in a way that you're gonna take all the pressure off of them, that sounds good. Cause I do wanna see more. I've only looked at one. I want to have options. You're providing that to me in a quick professional manner. So you wanna do that. So presenting, you can also present if they're out of state, like virtual tour, you can go through, I've had clients. That have actually purchased homes and never even been here. Done it online. And they
FaceTime.
purchase homes, that happens. You also wanna highlight key features of the not just the home, but of the situation. Like the money that you're getting for free. You gotta highlight the reasons that you gotta have. Like, for example, if I'm showing properties and they said, I want a pool. This has amazing pool. This has RV. It's got this. It's in a great location. You need to see this. You're a salesperson. They're gonna go see it.
As cheesy as this may sound right now, it's if you've ever gone with Ken to show a property, especially a high-end property, it's magic when you hear what he focuses on and what he touches on and what he'll point out in terms of finishes. He knows it because he's an expert at it. He's done it. He knows the name of it. He's pointing things. He's like, no, that's $40,000 to put in. You see that there, these custom cabinets? He's getting them excited and pointing. You've seen it, Juana, right? It's amazing. And they start realizing, like it was a mutual client, but I probably did more of the setting the appointment, but Ken came with us and we're at Village of the Park. And as he's doing this and he's highlighting what's in the backyard and everything else, there was another time I tried to set the appointment. They're like, is Ken going to be there? And I'm like, well, yeah, sure. Yeah, Ken will be there because they knew what he brought to the table. They wanted
the last house right now that I had on Enton. Great house, beautiful home. Smaller home, that was the issue. We had a guest house. Beautiful home though. This guy had come back the second time to look at it. He came the first time to the open house. He goes, look, I'm trying to buy something for my daughter. I want to have the guest house for my mother-in-law. He goes, but it's out of our price point. I go, what's your price point? He goes, I want to be at 950. I knew my client would take $1 million. So then I didn't say my client will take $1 million, like you should write, whatever. I didn't say that. I said, well, what are you looking at? He goes, well, I'm looking at these other homes here, this time. I go, oh, do they have a guest house? No. Oh, well, this guest house cost you like $250,000 to build. And I go, where are they at? They're over here, over there. And I go, well, this is one of the most desirable areas in Simi. And you do know that this has brand new roof, brand new windows, RV parking, it's in the best area, and a guest house. And you're probably 50 grand apart. you're gonna buy that other house, how much are you gonna spend fixing it in a location you really don't want? I didn't even have to say like that. He was doing that himself. I was just throwing it out there. We got an offer the next day at $995, or we sold it for $995. He came in at like $950, and we counted him at $995. We had it listed at $1,029,000. But it's only a 1540 square foot home with a guest house. My client was happy. Hard to value. You guys will get this, but it's hard to put a value on a guest house, because guest house can generate a massive amount of income that can pay for your mortgage.
Mhm.
And especially if you have an in-law or a kid or a son that you want to live with you. So hard to put a value on the real value of the home. Like, okay, well, what's that worth to you? Depends. If I gotta put grandma in the assisted living, it's $6,000 a month. That's, I'm only paying $6,000 for the whole home. So you can justify things selling them when people get educated like that. Your job is to tell them that, to tell them the house has that, to tell them that this is what it costs, this is what it, hey, what if it's a first time buyer? And they're stretching themselves. You go, guys, I get it. It's scary. But you know what? You have a safety net. If you ever needed to, this place will rent for $2,500. That's almost half your mortgage. Oh, okay. Makes you feel good.
Can I share one
Yep.
thing I shared with Steven yesterday, and this is very important. So as you talk, so when I would hear Ken do what he did and all the things he could explain, especially in Simi Valley, to me it was intimidating that I had to know all these things that he knows to be able to be as good as Ken, right? And what I learned later on down the road is I didn't have to know those things yet. If you know it, it's great. But what you do have to do, it's the belief. That's what I'm trying to focus on with him. It's because he believes and knows he's looking out for their best interests. So he highlights these things with that passion and that charisma. He is selling. That's what he's doing. But for all of us, the way you do that, do you all know what a shiny penny is? This is what I emphasized with them. Who here knows what a shiny penny is? What's a shiny penny?
One property that stands out among the rest of them, and it's just like, yeah, the shiny penny, like,
It stands out amongst the rest. What were you going to say?
It's the most desirable home in that area that would be on the market at any given time, which is what the majority of the buyers potentially might be looking for.
100%. So it's working smarter and identifying these properties. And then do you all have a buyer that you're looking for right now? Everybody has a buyer, at least one buyer. So you have to be able to find those shiny pennies. Now, yes, the clients have the internet. They're looking online. That's what they're seeing. We have to get in and preview the homes that we believe are the shiny pennies. And we have to get excited about it. And the more that you do that, the more you're going to do what Ken does. And he says, I found the perfect home. April sent a text saying this home checks all the boxes. How different do you think it would have been if she previews the home, videos the home, sends them the video link of it, calls them up, and before I even send the video link, calls them up and says, hey, guess what? I just went into this property. It's the perfect home for you. We got to check this out. It's going to go, right? Like, let me know what works for you. Do you think that's impactful? That led to a listing purchase for me doing that. Went to Caravan, was the first one in it, videoed it, sent it to my client. I called her up. It had been about 2-3 months, and it was just a prospect, 2-3 months since I spoken to her. Spent 2 hours with her at her house doing a listing presentation. She wasn't going to sell, even though I spent that 2 hours with her. 3 months later, I walk into that home. When I get her on the phone, she's like, you know what? I was out on vacation. I just got back, and it's crazy. You're on my mind, and you're calling me now. And I call her up. I said, yeah, I think I found the one. She looks at the video. She's like, yeah, I want to see it. Show her the video. That led to the listing in the Heights that we sold for 1212. I'm sharing all this because this is how it works. Because I was excited, I sent her the video. We get her in. She brings her sister. They love the place. She's like, you got me figured out perfectly. Because I was with her for 2 hours and listened to her, found the place, got her excited. Now it leads to a listing and a purchase. That's over 2 million worth of sales off of this, what we're talking about. It's being efficient, it's being effective, and it's that emotion. But you can't just sit and wait for it. If I would have waited for her to find it, she never finds it. She never sells, she never buys. This is so important. So Shiny Pennies, create a folder of it, start creating video. Now, we don't have to get to paper. We have an album that we put Shiny Pennies in and start work on that. And that's what Ken has taught me is to preview homes. I didn't do this before I met Ken. Preview homes, record those properties, stack it up. You work that open house, you think you're going to be a little bit more powerful? A heck of a lot more powerful. So it works for that. And it works for connecting the dots in your follow-up. So sorry, Ken, I'm done. I promise you. That's it. I just had to say the shiny penny because it's important.
How many of you understand tonality? Do you know what tonality is? Do you know? Everybody know what tonality is? Okay. If I'm calling because I found the perfect home, am I gonna say, hi, is this John?
No.
John, got this house. I think it's what you'll like. But what if I call and I say, hey, John, it's Ken. Oh my God, I just went and I looked at this house. I swear it's amazing. It's got everything. When you speed up your voice and you have a sense of urgency, that makes them realize that they're gonna lose it. It's gonna make your appointment setting easier because you can't fake that. You have to genuinely have seen it and genuinely feel that way. That's why the biggest mistake people are doing in the open house class that I teach is that they're not looking at the switchers. So they're going there, they're saying, I look online, they're circumventing the program and it
Right.
never works. If you go there with someone and they go, I want a pool, and you had just looked at that shiny penny that he's talking about, and you have it saved, you go, I got it. Oh my God, let's go look at it. You want to see it? Yes, let's go. Why wouldn't they? Why is it something bad to take them to get what they want? That's how you sell. Okay. Handling objections and concerns is step 5. We're going to fit, there's only 2 more steps. Handling objections and concerns. Pricing concerns. Let's review comparable sales so we can price competitively and attract the right buyer. Market worries. Even in a shifting market, opportunities exist. Let's review current trends together. I'm overwhelmed. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do everything for you. I'm gonna hold your hand and make sure that this is as smooth as possible. Lowered my voice, spoke slower. Gave them reassurance. Those are handling objections on that stuff. Timing and uncertainty. The market's always shifting. Let's look at everything, current market trends, and let's see what, let me explain what's going on. So I'm gonna get past that, but we're gonna move on. And I'm gonna give you guys a booklet if you want on a bunch of stuff here. Close the sale
It's a 6.
is number 6. You gotta close the sale. This house looks like it checks all the boxes. All we have to do now is just get the paperwork done. Let's make this happen. Whatever it is, you're gonna have to figure out your closing method. You're all different in personalities, but you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone because people are uncomfortable in closing people. You're doing them an injustice. You're doing them an injustice. And then let me tell you, you're gonna feel that injustice when they lose the home they want. They're gonna feel, you know what they're gonna say? You let me down. You know what they're gonna tell their friends? My agent wasn't strong enough. So unless if you wanna feel that, because I felt it, it's not a good feeling. I felt it before. I don't do that again. Because guess what? You're scared, pissing your pants that you're afraid of buying a home, right? You're dumping all your money into this, pissing your pants. And you're not sure, but the market's hot. There's multiple offers. And I got you the first look at this home. Sean, look, you're gonna have plenty of time. At this point, we're just trying to lock it up. We're gonna lock it up to eliminate the competition. If you don't feel good, move, later on, we've got plenty of time. You have all your contingencies. At this point, let's just lock it up. How does that sound? That's what you gotta make them understand. You're not signing your life away right there. And then as they start putting skin in the game, well, now we gotta do an inspection. Now we gotta do an appraisal. And they spend $2,000 or $3,000. Now they're vested in the commitment. They're not even thinking about that anymore. But you gotta lock it up. You gotta lock it up. So just look, whatever words you want to use. If this fits your needs and budget and location, let's just move forward with the paperwork. You never want to say, let's sign the contract. Contract is commitment. Paperwork, acknowledge the agreement. Those are things that make people feel it's okay. Contract? No. I signed no contract. I need an attorney. You're signing a contract. I'm not doing that. So Tom Hopkins has a whole thing on words and what not to say. Investment instead of payment. How much is your monthly investment? A lot of different things like that. Okay, number 7. Generate repeat business and referrals. That's the end of the process of this whole sales. Generate repeat business. He's gonna go to the barbecue that the people have that just closed that home. And he's gonna get 2 or 3 other clients out of it. And that's what you gotta believe. Why wouldn't you believe that? Why wouldn't he believe that? He just did something that nobody can do. He got him into a home that nobody could afford. He knows that all those people are gonna want a piece of that. All you people want a piece of it. Why wouldn't their friends and families? That was believable. I want a piece of that. I want free money.
You are going to get a piece of this. You want me to share with you what I did during this class because of what we just talked about with this buyer? So I just shot him a text. I said, hey, hope everything's great, Ricardo. Thank you for your awesome testimonial, brother. Would you be open to doing a short podcast video with me sharing your journey to becoming a homeowner? Love to interview you. Of course, man, been spreading the word about you. And yeah, I'm open to do the interview. Thank you, brother. Let me know what time works for you. We can set up a Zoom call. You can let your friends know that I'll be teaching a first-time buyer class soon too. Anytime during the week, maybe after 4:30 to 5. So it's just engaging. The idea comes, we're talking about it. I shoot the text, acknowledge, thank him for doing a great testimonial, right? Which most people would stop at just the review and the testimonial. But we're going to put him on video. We're going to record it. We're going to capture it. He's going to share his story. We can do a webinar online and invite a bunch of other people if he's open to it, because he's pretty private, even though he's willing to do this. But this is going to help make it easy for him to spread the word to other people as well. It's going to lead to more business. All I'm saying is it's ideas, but then you take action. And it did initiate with the text, but what am I doing? I'm setting an appointment. He already bought a home. He's already done. It's closed. But where's the next business at? From here. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have to overthink it. It's right in front of you a lot of times.
It sounds uncomfortable, right? It probably sounds uncomfortable to make that call. Someone here share with me a service that you had recently, whether on any kind of construction or anything like that you were happy with. Anybody? You have anything that you've done to your house or any kind of service, mechanic, anything? So.
Want to had somebody?
Yeah.
My mechanic,
Your mechanic? And you do a good job?
yeah.
So. Same with my mechanic. My mechanic's awesome. I give that guy's number out to everybody. Because he did such a good job. I want that guy to get business, because I can't believe that he's saving me money like he does. And his expert customer service that he gives me, I can't wait to give that guy's number out. Anytime I hear someone have a car problem, I go, don't go there, call this guy. That's what you want. You want people to do that for you. And that guy is going to do that for him. Because he couldn't believe, he was so mistreated. I was part of that. I was at the open house with him.
And guess
He
what the
was-
purchase price was? $380. 385. I've heard people legitimately say, if it's under 500, I'm sorry, I can't represent you. I can't help you. No, people say that. They do it. He's a person looking to become a homeowner. You don't get stuck on numbers, commissions. It doesn't change anything. I gave him more service than I have for clients who I've sold at 1.4 and other amounts. And I obviously gave them, but for him, it was even more hand holding, spending time with them, asking. Our first meeting was 4 hours, 2 hours of in there, and then 2 hours of showing property and working with them. And then we wrote an offer and we did exactly what Ken said. What did he say about writing an offer when people are hesitant to writing an offer? What words did he use?
Got you. I'm
I got you.
gonna walk you through it. I'll be with you.
Okay.
I'll guide you.
So comfort in them, but they think they're signing their life away. And that's legitimately what people feel in real estate. That's why if you're good at this technique, you'll make a lot of money. This is one of the most important things. He's saying a lot of bullet points that are all good, but there's certain nuggets he's given that are game changers. This is one of
We
them.
need to secure the property. We need to lock it up.
You need
to
this.
Secure the property is a good one. Let's secure the property.
We need to secure this property so nobody else can get it. That's the first part of it. Then you say you're still going to have time. We have 3 business days to put any money in, right? Today is Friday. You still have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before you even have to put any skin in the game. But we want to secure it before the weekend's open house and get this offer accepted. Does that make sense? Well, still, what about termite? What about these things? I'm a first time buyer. Like, I'm seeing the roof looks like it's falling down. Like, I'm just, I'm nervous, even though this is the neighborhood I want. No, I'd feel the same way if I were you, right? I feel that exact same way. What you feel is normal. But what I can tell you is we have almost 3 weeks after we open escrow to still get out of this transaction. 3 weeks.
Are you gonna have more negotiate? This is me talking to them. Think about this. You think you have more negotiating power now when it's just you? Or do you think you're gonna have more negotiating power if there's 3 other offers? Right now, if we hurry up and secure this, we might be able to get that stuff done for you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? And now you're creating urgency because there's a ramification to not doing that.
Strategy, game plan, all that. You're future pacing them. You're taking the pressure off. These are the things that you do. If you do them, you're going to get much better at getting people to write offers. Then you're going to increase your chances of opening escrow, right?
Any other questions on this? We're done with the class. I'm gonna leave you with this. There's 10 ways of prospecting here. There's 20 rapport building things in here. And then there's objection handling scripts that I put in here for buyers and sellers. There's 10 and 10. Okay. And then here's a calendar on scheduling, your schedule, work plan. So take this. Don't try to do everything that's on here because you're kidding yourself. Figure out what your goal is, and then figure out your 3 lanes of focus. What are the activities that achieve those goals? And then schedule them in based on an example here. Does that make sense? All right.
We got somebody on. Thank you. May I have a copy of that, please? Yep. So Sheila would like a copy of that. If you can send that, Ken.
Who?
Sheila, she's online. I
Oh, okay.
hopped on for it.
Oh, okay.
She had tried to log in. So yeah, we'll send that over to you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Any
can't-
other questions that you have?
It's because it's multiple things.
No, that was great. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for hopping on. I think everybody's ready to wrap it up, right?
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, well, no, there's
I'm
a
done.
couple more things, bro. Just a couple more. No, you
Yeah.
guys you're good. So I see Leslie's face like, oh shit, like we got more. No, it's so as he talked about in that outline, he has objection handling. There's certain skills with it. Do you guys all who here has practiced an objection handler? You know what that is?
Done sales.
You've done sales.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so you practice objection handlers. When he said there's 10 for buyers and 10 for sellers, did you know there's the same 10 objections that have been going on for almost 40 years? Do you know that?
Maybe.
What could you guess is one of the objections? Huh? Price of the home? Yep. What else?
The market's gonna crash.
Market's gonna crash. What else?
Interest rates are too high.
Interest rates, what was that? I'm not ready. We need to think it over. These are all the same objections. Do you think it'd be helpful to practice that with somebody? I'm telling, objections are my favorite thing. Why do you think objections are my favorite thing? Why?
Buying signals. They're actually buying signals that people be interested. They just need something answered so that they can move forward with what they're trying to do. Most people get scared of objections because they're like, oh no, they don't want it, but they do.
So she said they're buying signals, they're closing signals, right? It means, so once you overcome the objection, so before you make any type of difficult decision, do you question that? It's human nature, right? What do you think about buying a house? Do you think you're going to question that before you decide you're going to write an offer? One, you're going to have hesitation. So objections mean they're seriously considering it. Like Amome said, they're seriously considering it. And once you figure out what their hesitation is and you overcome it, then what happens after that? They move forward and they close. So that means you're that close when they give you their resistance and you learn how to handle that. So do you think it'd be worthwhile to spend, like Ken said, 30 minutes in a day? If you're not doing it every day, at least once or twice a week, do you think it would be important to do that?
Yes.
Absolutely. So at least once a week, schedule time, 30 minutes to practice your objection handlers.
Would you read some of those on that list?
And come up with a list on your phone of what objections you're dealing with or working with as you're trying to convert a buyer to being your client or get them qualified or whatever. Start keeping a running list. Then keep a running list of what you say, how you respond to it to get them to move forward. Does that make sense? Yes, sir.
Also, you can use ChatGPT and talk to it.
Always.
Is that way?
You can practice it, right? That's a good thing. But let's get back to the humans, right? And no, I'm serious. We have to schedule certain things that we have to practice. We can't just keep going through all this blind, right? Your daughter's not going to show up to a game after a month or 2 months without practicing beforehand. Are they going to practice and more until their skills are where they need to be? Has she already progressed more in the last 3 months than she has in the last 5 years?
Yes.
And what is she doing?
It's hardcore
It's
practice.
all practice.
All practice.
All practice, very little games. And were you pumped after you saw what she was doing in her first performance?
Yes.
Right? You think of dance professionals, you think of anybody else who wants to be great. Are they just showing up and just trying to call and figure it out on the spot? Or are they practicing their skills? You have to identify what your skills are and what needs to be sharpened and to get better. And if you see the demonstration of what's being taught, the game is actually the game. When I'm saying the game, it's the job. If I look at it as a game, does that seem more fun to do than a job? Absolutely. Job has a little pain to it. Game, it's like, let's go. Right? Listing appointment, let's go. Right? Buyer's appointment, let's go. I'm looking forward to that. Well, I also got to look forward to the prospecting part the same way that I'm not going to miss an appointment. You get what I'm saying? Because that's going to feed the fuel to those appointments and those presentations. So what skills do we need to get to? What's up, Jeff?
We got some exciting
Good.
news that Jeff wants to share in the lending.
Yes.
So some good news.
Uh-oh.
Rates are getting better, yay.
This thing.
Feds reduce rates. I mean, honestly, rates are pretty good. I mean, they've gone down more than a point since last year at this time. So, you know, your Fannie Freddie loan, 25% down loan balance, I mean, is approaching 6%, right? 6 and 8, 6 1/4, depending on credit scores. Hi, everybody.
Yep.
FHA, VA, I mean, we're down in the low 5s. It's awesome. So it just depends. Now, it depends on loan amount, it depends on credit scores, right? If you have a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 VA, I mean, you're definitely in the 5s, no points, right? The future is good. You know, we're going to continue to go down. It's nothing going to be drastic, right? The feds are talking about reducing another quarter, probably 2 more times. You know, that's going to help.
Can you explain how that works? Because everybody thinks when the Fed cuts, that means the interest rates are going to go down.
No. So what happens is, basically what happens is our rates are based off the bond markets, okay? But the bond markets get better in anticipation that the feds are going to reduce rates, right? Because that means that it's going to improve the economy. So you got these people betting on the bond market, which lowers our rates, okay? So our rates have been coming down the last 3 weeks, quite a bit. I mean, we've dropped at least a half a point in the last 2-3 weeks.
And what does that mean
In
in terms of
anticipation.
payment? 800,000, just roughly, what does that change their payment?
I mean, if you figure it's about $6, probably $5 per thousand
Mm-hmm.
down. So okay, so give you an example. Let's say on a $500,000-$600,000 loan, if they drop a half a point, that could mean $200 a month. Right? Difference, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
The rates are coming down. It was really interesting too, because I had a borrower that went looking for a house. He's trying to find a house in Santa Clarita